We are live and we are here to talk about what I would do if I was starting today with my business online. And Instagram, I have my phone over here, YouTube. I'm gonna stay live for a little bit, but you should go to my stories over here. Instagram, okay, you go to my profile, go to my stories, get the link for the live on YouTube, because I cannot stay live as long as I'd like. I cannot put the notepad so you can see the notes, so you can follow along with me. Therefore, I'm just picking you up so you can be here with me, okay, for 2-3 hours. I don't know how long it's gonna be. This live will be saved for once. This live stream is gonna be saved. The last live stream is already privated. If you watched it, you watched it. If you didn't, you didn't. But because this is a more foundational knowledge to help people who are starting out now, we are leaving it live, okay? So I'm gonna tell you a little bit of my story because I feel like it's relevant. So you know that this is not my first time on this rodeo. And to tell you a little bit more what we are gonna talk about as well, so we can connect all the dots, okay? So first of all, I've been working for myself since I was 13, 14. I started as a photographer. I did a few photos. I started as a horse photographer. My voice today, go. I can already feel it. So bear with me, okay? Instagram, I'm seeing people joining the live. Go to YouTube. The link is in my stories. I'm gonna close this live stream really, really soon. We are gonna be talking for a few hours on YouTube. There's gonna be notes for you to follow. Value packed, so you don't wanna miss it. Go to YouTube. The live link is on my stories. We are live already. Anyway, as a house photographer, then I went to university in Brazil to study digital media. Internet wasn't really a thing. It was starting out. That was like 12 years ago, 13 years ago. 14, 13 years ago. And I didn't finish digital media because I wanted to move to Finland. I was studying Finnish by myself. I was doing a lot so that I could move here. And eventually it happened. I'm gonna skip a few steps to speed this up. And then I got into the branding, design, marketing, business entrepreneurship uni here in Finland. That's, which by the way, I also didn't finish, okay? Because unfortunately, which is very unusual to Finland, the university stopped the English program for the program I was taking. I think the program was called Bachelor of Arts in Design. I don't remember. And crazily enough, the teachers stopped. Some teachers, not all of them, stopped showing up to classes, or they would show up for like 20 minutes and then leave. Insane, okay? Instagram, go to YouTube. I'm closing the live now. And that was extremely frustrating, as you can imagine. Discard video, discard, this is live. It keeps asking me to remove fundraiser. Alright. Phone is on Do Not Disturb, because we are gonna be talking serious business from now on, okay? And since the university was going downhill, the only choice I had was to open my own business, to start doing my own thing. It was about at the same time when I got my Italian passport, which meant I could stay here. Oh my god, please don't lose your voice. I could stay here without any worries. I could just start my business. And I started with brand design, specifically just design, because I had already studied Photoshop by myself. I started doing Photoshop some stuff when I was 13, and then in universities, the first uni actually, I started learning the older programs, started learning more about design, more about the software. I always had this autodidact, which is very relevant to what we are talking about now, okay? This autodidact DNA, meaning I have always had a curiosity to learn things for myself, and that's a skill that you're gonna need to develop as well. And so I was like, okay, I either do this thing or I do this thing. That was my posture back then. And I opened my first Instagram account. Didn't do very well. I was doing a little bit of everything without a lot of strategy. But then I continued studying strategy. I skipped something very important. My mother, okay, when she was 18, she opened her own shops. Fast forward 30-ish years, I joined as a, what is the name of it? Not a co-founder, a partner, that's the name. A co-partner with the jewelry stuff. I always talk about the jewelry. There were two shops, home decoration and then jewelry. Jewelry is the one that I was more interested in, as well as the one that I ended up being the major partner. I didn't build the company, but I was there, am there. Not so much nowadays, to be fair, but I was the strategic partner. So growing up in sales motivated me to keep learning. But the strategic part of it, the strategic part for branding was still missing a little bit, okay? This was 10 years ago. And then I started studying, and then pieces connected in my brain, and everything made sense. Once everything made sense, I opened a brand strategy focused Instagram. And that is the Instagram that boomed for me. I'm gonna tell you what happened to that account because it is heartbreaking. For anybody in the internet, what happened to me is a nightmare. And I got to a good amount of followers. I think I was at 16,000, and I was selling my services. I was selling my strategy services, high ticket. I was doing all right until my Instagram account got hacked. I don't know exactly how it got hacked, but one day I just couldn't go live. I couldn't post. I couldn't do anything. And so it died. Okay, I closed it. I felt freaking terrible. I felt like the world had ended. That's kind of what happens when you do just one. Well, actually, no, I didn't have just one channel. I've always had email marketing as well. And that's kind of what saved me, okay? Because I'm still in touch with some of you who were there with me at that time. But my work developed naturally, okay? My work developed naturally. Once you start with strategy, you start understanding that strategy is actually an integrated skill. So brand strategy, business strategy, personal strategy as well, very much integrated. I'm not gonna go into that. But what I'm trying to do here, or tell you, and I'm gonna switch to Notepad. I'm gonna turn a little bit here as well. Ow. Okay. Strategy. Even if you're starting out, or strategic thinking, it is one of the most valuable skills you could have, apart from sales. Of course, you need to learn to sell. Doesn't matter if you are a doctor, doesn't matter if you are a veterinarian, a nutritionist, a designer, it doesn't matter who you are. if you are selling your skill, even if you're gonna work for someone, sales and strategic thinking, it's for life, okay? It's for life. Strategy is for life. This is a little big maybe, huh? Strategy is for life. It's only gonna add to you. So the mindset that you need to have, which is our step one, okay, step one. Let's get the mindset right. Mindset is of an autodidact, meaning you are curious, you want to learn new skills constantly. If you are starting out from zero and you have to grow to delegate, meaning you have to invest, or you need to make money to invest, the other way around. You have to make money first in order to invest in your business. You can start with zero and then grow to invest, grow to delegate, okay? If you don't have that much available to put it in tools, to put in software, to put in hardware, to hire help, then you need to grow to delegate. Or if your case is the opposite, in which you do have some cash, if you have a budget to spend, then you're going to delegate to grow. And you're gonna do that by finding out what your hourly rate is, and you're gonna think of it as a year, okay, not as a month, because if you look at your month, you're gonna be like, I cannot delegate. But if you look at the year, you're gonna see that by delegating, you're gonna be able to find more time to do the strategic stuff that's gonna help you to grow. But that's an advanced talk. We talked a little bit about this in the last live stream, which if you missed, you missed. It's a little bit more advanced. But the mindset of being curious, of being an autodidact, of understanding that if you cannot delegate, there are going to be things that you're gonna have to learn. You don't need to become a master, okay? You don't need to become a master of everything, but you need to learn the basics of all the activities related to your operation. So I have a mentee, I'm gonna say who it is, of course, but she doesn't like doing video. She's the classic, I have a bazillion of objections, okay? She's trying hard to change that. She's trying hard to change her mindset, the way that she views her work. But if you are starting out and you have difficulties talking, you are dyslexic like me, or you are camera shy, or you are a little bit overall, you are shy, you are more introverted, you need to understand that you don't need to become the best at oratory, the best at speaking. You don't need to have the best technology. You need to be good at the basics. You need to be good at, you need to suck first in order to be great, okay? Because your first video, it's like the first pancake. Whenever you do a pancake, the first pancake will never be good. It will never be good, okay? So you need to acquire the knowledge that will put you forward. And to do that, to know which knowledge you need to acquire, if you missed the last live stream, oh my god, why did I do that? I kind of screwed our, that was such, that was such a reflex to make the screen a little larger for me. Okay, I fixed it. We are doing it live, and that's what happened. I hope I don't lose my voice in the Okay, if you missed the last live stream, we went through how to map out the activities in your business and how to understand what you have to do when you're operational. So what you need to do is just list the things that you need to do on the following, okay? On your marketing, so content creation, etc., email, marketing, whatever it is that you are doing. And the operational part, so accounting, HR, client side. So acquiring clients and managing your clients. And if you have a team, then it's also project management, okay? And then the actual working with clients, all right? These are things you need to do on the following topics. And then you're gonna know what you need to learn. So for example, for content marketing, on content creation, you're gonna need to learn how to write copy. So now we are talking about skills, okay? Make videos, edit the videos, and then you're gonna reverse engineer that. So you're gonna look at the software and the possible automations. So for example, if you're gonna make videos, you can use your phone, software and hardware. You can use your phone, right? Really simple. We're talking very basic right now. You can use your phone, the microphone in your phone. Please stick with Apple. I know people hate to hear this, but native Android cameras, no, it doesn't matter how great the camera is, doesn't work the same way on social media. And you have to treat this like your work, because it is your work, okay? Content creation is how you're gonna sell your business. It is your business to sell your business. It is your business to understand strategy and sales. And part of strategy is understanding the resources that you have available and the resources that you have to improve in order to do your work better. Am I telling you to change your phone right now? Of course not, okay? But I want you to have in mind that the right hardware fixes, or doesn't matter what software you have, if you have the wrong hardware, it's over, okay? Especially with video and images. It's important that you acquire eventually a good phone. It is one of the biggest tools for your work. Your computer doesn't matter so much what brand you're using, but the phone does. The quality of image is astoundingly superior because of the way that the camera and the software, the system on the iPhone works with all the social media platforms. It is clear as day when someone is using an iPhone and when someone is using a Android phone, okay? Keep that in mind. I know a lot of people don't like Apple. I don't care what you like, what you don't like. You are an adult. You don't do things because you do things because you have to do them. You're not a child anymore, okay? So once you know what you have to do, you have to look at hardware, you have to look at software, and you have to look at possible automations. An example would be making videos. Make the video, record the video with, for example, the Instagram camera, save it. I sometimes do this, I go on the phone, on the stories, and then I activate the hands-free, and then I save the video. I don't post it on my stories, but I save the video, and then I import into CapCut. And in CapCut, you add automatic subtitles. So apps, software, a lot of them can help you automate. It would take a lot longer for me to write captions one by one, right? Another example would be email marketing. So let's put it here, email marketing. You're going to create, and then I can list a few tools actually that are very useful for you to email marketing and capturing leads. Okay, both here, capturing leads, because you want to be capturing leads and creating content as fast as possible, because one, it takes a really long time. It takes a really long time to build an audience that is correctly targeted. We can talk about viralization at some point, maybe not today, but it takes some time. Well, it takes some time. It can be longer for some people than for others. Oh, please, throat. You're gonna need to learn how to write copy. Okay, copywriting is everywhere. What I'm doing here right now is copywriting. When you make a story on Instagram, you're doing copywriting. When you are creating video for your YouTube channel, you are doing copywriting. When you are writing a caption on a post, or a post like a carousel post, you are doing copywriting. When you're writing an email to your client, responding or answering an email, you are doing copywriting. This is not fun. Oh my God. You are doing copywriting. So writing copy is one of the most important skills for you to get. You don't need to become a master. It takes years to become a master in copywriting, but get used to at least the frameworks, get used to the lingo of making videos, of writing copy, even because, and this is the point where the point that I want to make. Okay, I'm not gonna make the point now. I'm putting the horses behind the carriage. Okay, so you're gonna write copy, you're gonna create, or not, this is optional, you're gonna create graphics. Oh, well, you're gonna have to create here, create graphics. So you need to learn how to use Canva, for example. Okay, you don't need to download a Photoshop, but you can learn Canva very easily nowadays. You can buy a Canva pack from someone that matches your aesthetic if you don't need to understand design fully to get started. Or you can simply use Instagram stories to create a post. Some of my mentors do that. They don't, or even Twitter or the notepad, or it doesn't matter. Stop trying to make things perfect, or to have the best tools, to have a huge team, to have a fancy. I am doing this live stream in my living room. My sofa is right behind me because I work from home. My kitchen is right there. Okay? I have clothes hanging over there. I'm doing this from home. You don't need a fancy office. You don't need the fanciest software. You don't need to pay for pro versions of stuff. There is enough for free for you to get started. But if you are trying to get the perfect situation, you're not gonna get started and you're not gonna develop those skills. Okay, you need to start developing those skills. So email marketing, capturing leads, you map out all the skills involved in doing this, understanding, and then I think I'm gonna put understanding, automation, okay, and workflows. And there are a few tools for capturing leads and email marketing that I love and that are super easy to use. Okay, for email I use Sending Blue. for email. Oh my god, email for capturing leads for mentorings, mentorings and services. You can use typebot.io. I think it's io. Let me check. typebot.io. Something like that. Email and customer flows. Sending blue. And then you can automate DMs. Should I do that? I'm just gonna put it in here because it's a little bit more technical. I'm not gonna have all the details, which is ManyChat. It's another tool, very good tool to use. So then you start understanding what you can use. You start understanding the skills that you need to have, and that's what you do. Okay, you're gonna look at your operation, you're gonna look at your actual working with clients, what tools you're gonna use, and you're gonna organize that. You're gonna capture the resources, you're gonna organize the resources, and you are going to understand the skills that are involved in that. Okay, so you're going to capture resources related to those three, related to your marketing, operational, oh my god, operational, etc. Then you're going to organize these resources. It's important that you organize, and then you are going to understand the skill set that you need to develop. So if we were just to give an example of this, of actually working with clients, you're gonna need to learn how to price your offers, copywriting. You're gonna need to learn how to negotiate, copywriting, persuasion, psychology. You're gonna need to study. You need to be an eternal curious person. Okay, it's one thing that it's such a basic thing, and it's so cliche to say that, but because it's cliche, okay, whenever something's a cliche and you know it's a cliche, it gives you two signs. The first sign is that it's being repeated so much people disconsider it, but it's true. And two, it is basic, and if you do the cliche, the basic, correctly, you're going to succeed. Do the basics right. But Jules, why should I acquire all this knowledge? Why not just delegate right away? Because that's what people want. This mentee I mentioned before, that was that first reaction. I told her, how are you going to know? Okay, how are you going to know that you are delegating correctly? Because if you want to have a small team, you need to have the sense, the quality sense of what's good and what's not good. How are you going to give feedback to that person? Are you going to tell your manager eventually what needs to be changed and why? You can't be ignorant. You don't have to be a master in it, especially, and this is especially if you want to have a small team. Because even though you're gonna hire people that are better than you, it's a retroactive feedback loop, okay? They are going to tell you what's best, and you're going to tell them in their language what you want. So you need to be able to tell eventually in the future what you want so that you don't become that boss that wants impossible things. Not impossible as in I have a vision and I want that to happen, but impossible as in that's not how design works, for example. That's not how video works. That sort of impossible. You need to be able to have a sense of quality. Okay? The step 2 for us, which I actually switched in my notes, is to map yourself out. Let's put it like that. Map yourself out. It's kind of a weird way to say it, isn't it? But what I mean by this is that even if you have a company, even if you have like we have the jewelry shop, even if you are working with a brick and mortar, even if you are doing behind a brand name, if you're not working as yourself, okay, I suggest everyone, this is the future of digital marketing. Your niche is going to be you, and I'm not the only person saying this, okay? I am not the only person who has viewed that trend. You need to be you, and you need to erase the confusion that other people have. I'm even gonna do this. You need to erase the confusion that other people have, and they impose that. You end up reflecting it about who you are and who you want. Because if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what you want, none of this makes sense. Because then you're just doing it for the money, and you should do it for the money, but not just for the money. You need to have motives, real wishes, real, you know, like, to do it. And once you know yourself, there is that Sun Tzu. I always mix it up. Wait, I'm gonna have to. Sun Tzu quote, "The art of war." I always mix it up because, you know, yours truly, my mouse stopped working. Yours truly is a little slight. Know yourself and know what is it? I want the actual. I'm actually surprised it's not the first quote that pops up. I thought it was his most. Know the enemy, know yourself. This is the full quote over here. Things. Know the enemy, know yourself. Your victory will never be endangered. Know the ground, know the weather. Your victory will then be total. Know the enemy, know your competition, know yourself, which is what we are doing right now. Your victory will never be endangered. You're always going to be focused on the right things. Know the ground, know your resources, know what you are working with right now. Know the weather, know the general view, the panorama that you are working with. Your victory will then be total. People skip. I've hammered on this point for years since I had the other account. Don't forget to look at your resources. Don't forget to look at who you are, your personality, your history, the things that you want, your values, what you accept and what you don't accept. Okay? And how do we do this? Let me go back over here. How do we do this? I always hammer on the personality first, because even if you have your brand, your studio, your little shop, go to the market as yourself as well as your company. People buy from people, and if you build your brand as yourself, people will buy anything that you create. It doesn't matter if I launch clothing brand tomorrow. It doesn't matter if I launch another jewelry shop. It doesn't matter if I launch a gym, coffee brand. People will be there just because they like you, me. Okay, so if you want to be the front of your business, consider wholeheartedly your personal brand. If you're already doing your personal brand, that's great. So map your personality. Do personality tests, all of them, if to help get some clarity, to help you get some clarity. Write it down. Recognize who you are. Acknowledge the source of all of it. Okay, you are the source of the things that you create. It's not the other way around. The things that you create are not you. You are, or the things that you create are part of you, but they are not you. And you have to acknowledge who you are. You have to honor the source. You have to take care of yourself. You have to wake up early and go to the gym eventually. I'm not gonna get there, but do map out your personalities. Map out your personality and what you accept in your life and what you don't. I'm gonna tell you a story right now that actually, it saddens me, but it is a practical, a real life consequence of doing this. Because I don't want to accept, example, I'm gonna put here, I don't want to accept average. I don't want to have an average life. I don't want to live with average people around me, close to me, okay? Intimately, I don't want to have average around me. I want to have a really fucking awesome house. Sorry for cursing, but hey. I want to drive a G-Wagon. That sort of thing, okay? I don't want average. I want what I want, period. And that, once you understand who you are, once you understand what you want and what you accept and what you don't accept, you start, and you voice that, you start seeing people around you who are not aligned with you. Clients, friends, people in your family, people who try to cross your borders, your boundaries. That's the word that I was looking for. People start crossing your boundaries. They are going to test those boundaries. And that happened with me when I started my design studio, because I didn't have that much of an option. People in Finland, companies in Finland do not so easily hire foreigners. I have a friend who spent, I think, a few weeks. I don't remember how long. I don't know if it was like 6 weeks or 3 months. I don't remember exactly the date. Trying to get a job. He was sending 60-something CVs, sometimes over and over, to the same companies so that he could get a job, okay? Smaller cities, like where I live, is even worse. And he couldn't get a job. The moment that he got married, changed his surname, he got. There are people that are going to be around you who do not understand what you were doing and why you were doing. They don't have to understand, they have to respect. But you're only going to get the respect if you know where the boundary is and you are able to communicate that boundary. You're gonna do that in your personal life. You're gonna end up doing that in your business with co-founders, if you ever have co-founders, with managers. You're gonna set those boundaries. You need to learn to set boundaries for yourself as well, what you accept for yourself. Are you gonna sit here and do a half-assed job on your live stream? Are you gonna sit here and do a half-assed job on a client project? Are you gonna go to the gym and not give your max at the gym? What you accept in life is the output for your work, for your results. It's gonna affect your results. Your output is a reflection of what you accept and what you don't accept in life. And you need to map those things out. You need to understand exactly what you accept and what you don't accept. My friend wouldn't understand, and I didn't want her to understand. I wanted her to respect that it's not easy to get a job in Finland. I gave my friend's example, and I didn't have an option to have my own practice, period. And for that to happen, I needed to have a routine because I was studying, I was going to the gym, I had a company in Brazil to work with as well. 2 companies, study. So I needed to have a routine. I need to have a time to go to bed and time to wake up. Does not do to call me at 10 p.m. to go have coffee at the, what is it called in English? The highway coffee thing, like you see, like a diner. It does not work for me. And eventually, when I put my foot down, I was like, I am not going anymore because I need to wake up early. I was tagged as the bad friend, not the best friend, the opposite, as the bad friend. Boo-hoo, okay? Boo-hoo. I know what's good for me, and you know what's good for you. So you need to map those boundaries, what you accept and what you don't accept. Your personality. Are you more, my voice is failing, extroverted? Are you more introverted? Are you an ambivert? If you are an introvert and you are shy, just remember, okay, that if you are afraid, introverted means be more quiet, more introspective. It doesn't mean shy. You are shy. If you are shy and introverted, your shyness can be worked through. It's just a social skill. You can still be a more quiet person, but you can work on your oratory to speak clearly. If you're not energetic, if you're not someone that smiles a lot, that makes a lot of jokes, map that out. It is fine. You don't have to be what you were not. Okay, I am serious. I am direct. I am very much the commander person. I'm a sanguine commander person. Sorry. But I also have my moments of being the explorer. And I'm talking about archetypes now. This is going to affect your personal brand, the way you communicate with your clients, the way you communicate with your following, the way you're gonna sit and do a video, okay? Once you understand these things, honor it. I am like this. I am like this. I didn't have to hit so hard on my chest. This is how I am. And you are going to be the one doing those reviews, re-evaluating yourself periodically to understand. You can do the personality tests over and over again. I do them from now and then. I always go from the commander to an advocate in the Myers-Briggs ones. I'm always a sanguine. I don't remember my Enneagram, actually. I think it's 8. Dominant. Don't remember. And you're gonna honor that. You're gonna infuse that with your brand. You're gonna take the Myers-Briggs and you're gonna convert that to your archetypes. We can have an archetype lesson, okay? A full archetype lesson, so you understand how to put that into a personal brand. But once you honor that, once you've mapped that out, and you know what you accept and what you don't, you're gonna be able to select everything that you consume, what you hear, and what you hear and internalize. Because that's the danger. When you don't know, you are working without clarity, you end up internalizing everything. You internalize hate, you internalize critics that were not pertinent. Don't let people who are not where you are criticize you. Wait, that was not English. Don't let people who are not where you want to be criticize you. Okay, because they probably don't have all the context. And if the person who is criticizing you is where you want to be, they are probably a mentor, and that's the person you're listening to. Okay, the person who is where you are. Next, you're gonna map out your story/history. I began this lesson talking about my story and my history, telling you that I went to those 2 universities and I didn't finish them because I recognized the next step before I was over. I had this critical sense of like, hey, now it's time to stop. I'm wasting my time here. Map out what you've learned. How did you go to university? You are an autodidact. I've told this story as well, that we had a photography club, forum type of things, that we did outings and went out to photograph. That was my first job as a teenager. Honor it. Hey, I did all of this. I taught myself how to code, how to create a website when I was 14, 15. I was doing logo. My first logo design, I was 11. In school, in the voluntary program in school, they still use it. I'm gonna have to find someday the picture. They still use it, and I sat down on Photoshop. Designers are gonna be like, oh my god. And I put the logo together. How did you learn? My mom influenced me on the sales side, on putting my face against the customer who was buying a high ticket, who was buying thousands worth of jewelry sometimes. Okay, I was really good at upselling. I'm really good at upselling, upping the LTV, face to face with the client, talking to them, getting to know them, okay, warming that person up, making them feel welcome. And not just because I wanted to sell more, make more money. No, it's because I wanted that person to have that good energy of honoring how they wanted to show up to a party, feeling good. Women need that, okay? Especially. Whatever, that's extra. How you learn, your experiences and results. If you have results, if you don't have results, we're gonna talk about it in a minute. Where did you learn the things that you know? How much time have you spent so far? How much money have you invested in your knowledge so far? Why are you not honoring that? Why are you not honoring your personality, your story? Why are you letting people and hate in the internet, or the fear of hate in the internet and what people are gonna tell you affect you? It's because you don't have clarity of what you accept and what you don't accept, of the trail you've walked so far, and then of course where you want to go, which is a minute. Pause for water. Let me check the live stream. Pause for water. Okay, then we have your vision. That's the next thing. I always mention, wow, I pressed a lot of wrong things. My reviews, my mirror of responsibility, the mirror of responsibility on the stories on Instagram, because it's a result of all of these things that we are talking about. It's what I accept and what I don't accept. What I want right now to achieve next, and my big dreams. But Jules, but I don't have a big dream. You do. You're just not giving yourself the space to dream without a limit. Do you think, okay, you might not like Apple. I actually have the book right here. Let me pick it up. Yow! Let me see my camera really quickly. Am I well positioned? I'm sorry about the flare actually in the camera. It's the position of the camera and the light. I don't know. When I sit in front of it, it goes away. But read this book and understand. It's in Portuguese, but it's Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson. Isaacson. Read this book. Even if you don't like Steve Jobs, okay? I was rereading it. Understand what having a vision, okay, that seems daunting and impossible does to you, because somebody to do something great had to dream without a limit. They had a vision, a ideal situation. They didn't know how to get there, but they tried. And I know it's not gonna be everyone that's gonna have that sort of gigantic vision. It doesn't matter the size of your vision. What matters is that it's big enough that it scares you now. Okay, you need to train that. It's an elastic muscle. It's the more you stretch it, the more you understand that you can stretch it. Okay, so whatever feels big and daunting right now is what you need to write down. How do you find this? I like to give this exercise. I actually put that exercise in the Infinite Product Method. Hasn't been launched yet. And it is, go take a walk and think about the answer to a certain question. And I'm gonna write it down. If money wasn't a problem, what would you do, where, and with whom? And you're gonna start understanding what it is that you really want, and only come back from that walk once you have the answer. Okay, don't take your phone, don't take your dog, don't put music. I mean, take your phone because it's a security issue in many places, but don't put music on. Don't get distracted. Don't take your dog. If you have a dog, I know that's counterproductive if you're going out, but the point is, don't get distracted. Focus on the question, okay? Do that internalization. Write if you have to. Buy a notebook and write. Write about all of this that we are doing. Do this dump of information, okay? Because then you're gonna be able to map out, oh, what did I do? Map out your goals. Because your vision, oh, that was the stream key. Your vision is a final destination of sorts, okay? Oops. Your vision is a final destination. Whenever I create my mirror of responsibility, my vision is my responsibility. Your vision is your responsibility. You don't need anybody to understand it, and you don't need anybody to support you for your vision, okay? And the vision, before I go to goals, the vision is actually, or the lack of vision is what is the reason for most people's failure. Why do people give up? It's because they don't have that final destination. It's because they didn't take the time to stop listening to what other people are talking. Their brain is engorged with useless information. They are hitting their dopamine wrong, and they are not focusing on what they want. They are not focusing on themselves. And there was actually a research done on this. You are the person who you are spending the most of your time with in your lifetime. The next is a partner. Then is your friends. Then it's your children, because children leave home pretty quickly. Friends stay longer. And then it's your parents. Do you understand this? I'm pretty sure that's the order, but you can Google it. The important thing is you are the person you are spending the most time with, and then the partner. The person you choose is the second most important choice you're going to make. First is all of this, is what you want out of your life, out of your business. The second is the person you choose to do that with or beside of. Okay, so the lack of vision is the reason most people fail. It's the reason why most people don't build that thick skin that surrounds the activities that they have to do every day when it doesn't feel good, especially. Yesterday I didn't want to go to the gym. Yesterday I woke up late. Yesterday I didn't put makeup on. I didn't honor myself. But I sat down and worked. I honored my work. I honored my health, because that's the average I've set. Not the average, the above average that I've set for me. What I accept for me, okay? Mapping out your goals once you have vision means what it is that I can do in the next 3 months, what it is that I can achieve, a little bit maybe wishfully thinking about it, thinking a little bit bigger than what more uncomfortably than most people would think. So you map out your goals and you set them to be ideal, good, and okay. You don't accept anything below that, meaning ideal is over the top. Good is ground zero. Let's name it like that. Ground zero. You know, if your goal is to make 100,000 a month, the ideal is 100,000. The good, let's put 70, and the okay would be a little less. You don't work with negatives, but understand, this is important. Okay, you're not gonna work with me see. What if I can't? Don't work with negatives. So what if I can't? This applies to everything, okay? What if I can't go live? Don't work with negatives, okay? What is the okay for going live? Doing a live stream, nobody's showing up. People are going to pop here. Okay, this is a tough time for people to watch live. It's fine. I understand. That's okay for me. That's okay for me. I'm gonna show up either way, whether there are people live with me or not. It doesn't. What is good? Right now, a few people watching, sending questions. What is the ideal and interactive live stream? That's the ideal. So that's how you map it out. You don't work with negatives. What if people don't? But understand that are moments in which you can create a plan, a crisis plan, okay? Live streams, they don't have a crisis plan, but if it's related to money, you probably need a crisis plan. You probably need a contingency, crisis or contingency plan. If it doesn't go right, what do I do instead? It's not a plan B, it's a contingency plan. So don't work with a plan Bs, okay? You either do it or you don't, but you recognize you either do it or you don't. But you need to know the enemy, but you need to know what can go wrong. Okay, in real life, you're gonna do 97 projects for only 3 to work. Contingency plans are important. You are running a business, okay? Let's go on. Once you've set all of this, actually, let me go a little bit back up as with this part over here, okay? We need to work with values. What do you actually value in your life? Oops. Your values are going to reflect what you accept and what you don't. So I value abundance and an abundant mindset. I do not like people who are always working with negatives, who are always complaining. They can be in my life, they are gonna be a little bit there. Okay, because it's not how the world works. You can't just delete people like that. But it is also going to reflect in how I conduct. My conduct need to be coherent. That's how you pronounce it. My conduct needs to be coherent with my values, and I'll stand up to it. I'm not gonna hold any of it too tightly that I can't change and develop myself. Because remember, there's always analysis and reviews, and that's actually the last part of this live stream. Hey, by the way, I'm gonna be here for as long as it takes me to go through all the points, okay? We are halfway, more or less. Your conduct needs to be coherent with your values. And I see a lot of people, influencers in the fitness would say I am natural when they are not. Clearly harmonized, and then they are also selling this utopia to people. Okay? Selling an unfair result. Smart about this. Be coherent with your values. So if you are ambitious, and you don't risk, you're not trying new things all the time. I'm always trying new things. Always trying new things. Because I'm ambitious. I'm always looking at my goals. I'm always writing down. I'm always reviewing my day. I can open it here. Okay? This was yesterday. PRA. Every day. Because I value my personal growth. I value my personal growth. But Jules, none of this actually relates. We haven't even started talking about digital marketing. Everything you're gonna do with your personal brand is a direct reflect of all of this. A reflection, a direct result, a consequence. That's the word. Everything you're gonna do with your personal brand is gonna be a reflection of all of this. And if you're working with your company is gonna have a vein that comes out of you. Because somebody had to dream about that company existing. You're gonna work a lot more than anybody that you hire. You have your employees, your clients, they are all your bosses. And you need to have these things, okay? When it comes to executing the things that you need to execute, before you even think about which channel am I gonna use first for my, because that's where people jump. They jump straight at, I'm gonna do an Instagram, but you don't know how. You don't have the basics mapped out. I mean, if you follow this, you're gonna have your basics mapped out. You need to get organized. Get organized. Time to get organized. Notion. You knew I was gonna do that. If you know me, you know me. Notion is the name of the game. Okay? Separate, create 2 pages on Notion. It doesn't matter how you're gonna do that. Okay, don't overthink. Create 2 pages on Notion. One that is gonna be personal and work. Actually, you're gonna create 3 pages. No, 3. And your productivity system. You're gonna use Notion to collect ideas, to study. You're gonna use Notion to organize your content, etc., etc. This is your knowledge base and your base of operation. Okay, you're gonna work in Notion. I spend most of my time working in Notion. I write copy in Notion before I do a landing page, before I post on Instagram. I go through Notion, and I want all of these things to remain there. Do not trust your brain to remember everything. Notion for ideas, okay? And second brain. Oh, do not trust your brain to remember everything. And this is something that I struggle with my mom, because she's more old school and she likes to trust her brain, which doesn't work. You are human and you are prone to do failures. You are prone to make mistakes. But when you are running a business, you can't count on making basic stupid mistakes because you didn't remember something. So you're gonna organize your personal, your work, and your productivity systems here. Personal, what can you include on your personal? You can include, let me actually look at mine so much. You can put your goals here, okay? You can put your, you can put your, if you're reading books, you can put book notes. So you can do active recalling to learn. Remember, we talked about learning. This is how you bring everything together. You can track your finances in Notion, both personal and the work finances. You can watch a lesson or buy a course and write course notes. You can write down your recipes. Recipes, that's how you write it. I have my workout program here, workout program. I have style inspirations. Because now I know my personality, I know what matches my style, because I am here to create a perception with my personal brand. But I am not a personal stylist, an image consultant. I can work, and I do work with an image consultant, and I put style as inspirations. And I also plan my trips, etc. You get the point, okay? Work. I'm gonna open my work. In the infinite product method, there's gonna be a little gift related to this. I put my metrics, okay? So management, actually, gestão, management, the production of my products and experts. So the people I work with, my clients. For my content creation, so YouTube, Medium, Instagram. And it's free for you to start. Zero excuses not to get organized. You're gonna have to spend some time learning a lot of skills, period. It's not gonna be easy, it's not gonna be pleasant, because if it was easy, everybody would be a billionaire at this point, okay? Everybody that is doing like this on your back, telling you to take it easy, what you accept in your life and what you don't. I don't want to accept average. I don't want to accept this, it's fine, skip the workout, you didn't sleep well. Metrics, management, documents, the business structure, we talked about this last live, the business model, processes, methods, client areas. I also save copy from, I have a page called the Watch House. Okay, I'm just gonna Watch House, which is where I put competition stuff, competitor stuff. Okay, competitor analysis. Let's put it analysis. Let's put it like that. Finances, if I haven't written it. Contact, so CRM. Contacts both for freelancers, people I work with, as well as collaborators, as well as clients, I mean, all of that. What else? Let me look at. That's a good start, okay? Product feedbacks, product feedback. I have everything here. Then I also have my brand universe, which the things that you did that you want to, this far, the things that you've collected, and you want to put in your brand, okay, I am ambitious, like I was saying before, right? And that's something that I want my personal brand to have front and foremost. That's a value I want to pass on to my audience. Then you can write it down. You don't need to have, it's important that you start writing it down, even if it's just a bullet point. Or organize, get this structure. Let me see if I can share this. It's in Portuguese. I'm not sure if it's whatever. Not gonna waste the time now. But the organization, however simple it is right now, is important. You need to get these things out of your brain. It's like you have 3 areas. We're talking about 3 main pages, right? The 3 areas in your brain. And right now it's full. You have like three drawers. You have 3 drawers in your brain. Personal stuff, work stuff. You can put also like house management. And right now it's full, and you need to empty these drawers in order to be able to function as an adult. And we have an amazing tool available to us that is free to do so. Okay, so get your hands on it. And then we have the productivity system. Productivity system, which my method is called a 3RT, and maybe I'll do a course on it someday. I know people have been asking, not maybe actually, Freedom Empire is gonna get updated. So productivity system, the 3RT, 3 R's, so reviews, routines, the 3 R's. Reviews, routines, and how do I turn? I'm not sure if it's gonna work in English. Is this gonna work in English? Is this still going to be 3 R's? Yes, actually, it will. Wow, that was lucky. Reminders and tasks. That actually, I got lucky that it works in Portuguese and in English. So the T is tasks. And you're gonna put that separately, okay? Reviews, routines, and reminders. Reviews, personal, business. We're gonna talk about analysis. Personal and business. Daily, weekly, daily personal, okay? Daily personal. Weekly, both. Quarter, month, quarter, year. It is not let's do like that. Make it easier to understand. It's like 3, 4, 5 questions that you answer every month to see if you are on the right track. You need to have a self-checking. Systems are not systems. Reviews are, this is a system, okay? This is the system that you need to have starting out so you can organize things. You don't need to have a lot of processes at this point. Forget about processes. That's only gonna slow you down. But you need to have a place where you can collect that information. You feel like, oh my God, I cannot forget this. I need to be able to repeat this task. You're gonna collect that. Okay? Reviews are self-checking systems. A lot of people are not able to look at themselves in the mirror and be like, today you failed at this, but tomorrow you can be 1% better. Okay, so the goal is to be 1% better. Every day on my Instagram, I post the goal, like a pic. Let me just grab it. I post the picture at the gym, the mirror. You are following me, you know what I'm talking about, right? With the screenshot from my Notion, and it's actually less than 1%. It's exactly 0.3% better every day at the gym. This is compound betterment. I don't know how to call it. This is compound betterment. You don't need to be a master at all of the skills. You need to be 1% or even less better than you were yesterday. Your competition is with the mirror, and that's why it's called a mirror of responsibility. Your goals are your responsibility, and it's your reviews that are going to allow you to be 1% better, because you're going to be able to look at it critically. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be doing things perfectly. You need to be looking at things critically. You need to have that environment in which you can do that, that space, a ritual that you can do that. And I use Notion to do that. And the notebook, I have the questions pop up every day on Notion. The setup is another 500, as we say in Brazil. It's another 500. We are dealing with the first 500 here. I do that on pen and paper, on notebook and paper, or notebook and pen, I mean. You don't need to get super fancy about it. And that is the difference. Having a vision, having a system to allow you to progress is the difference between someone who doesn't have clarity of who they are and are not honoring their work, honoring the things that they say they want to do, and showing up every day, becoming 1% better every day. Okay? So setting up your productivity systems also requires, once you understand what you're going to accept every day, and the things and the goals that you want to become, the kind of person you want to become, you are gonna set routines. Let's do like that. Your routines are going to be work and business, work and personal. And the actual setup again, 500. It is going to be part of the Freedom Empire, the entire method of the 3RT. I'm just giving you a little taste so you can get started now with how you know. I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like every day. This is my routine. Let me OBS. You are seeing. You see the mirror of responsibility right here. Personal routine, work routine, mirror of responsibility. So I will go into personal. And today I woke up, because that's what I accept for myself. I woke up and I rose right away. My coffee, I had my hair vitamins because I'm still losing a lot of hair because of COVID, and I got myself ready, and I read 10 pages of a book. You need to do my vacuum, but I'm actually doing the then I'm later gonna work out. So now let me hide my face. Maybe it's gonna focus. There you go. So I have AM, PM, and the last is testing the time. And the RPA is my daily review. And then I also have the work. Hide my face. AM, PM, and on the breaks. AM, reply to all important emails, put the reminders or delegate. Instagram, reply DM to DMs, comments, post on stories. On the breaks, I check my emails, I post on stories, I check my WhatsApp, and I log reviews at night. Now you're starting to see how all of this comes together, because once you understand all of the structure that we've spoken so far. Okay, so AM, PM, breaks, and whatever you need to test. So if you need to test when it's better for you to do one thing or the other. And then you're gonna understand what is not negotiable. Negotiable. My workout is not negotiable. Sleeping well. Making stories. Answering DMs. Answering to comments. Those are not negotiable. That's part of what I have to do every day consistently, okay? It is important that you have that in mind. So routines, and then reminders, people's birthdays. Oops. Oh my God, wait, pressing a lot of things. Birthdays, the bills you put in your financial, and you separate your business and your personal finances. So bills go there. I used to mix that up a lot. When I started, I actually mixed business with personal, not a good idea. And I separated, I put the reminders with the business, the bills, and that's also not a good idea. Just consolidate that somewhere else, okay? So birthdays, meetings, etc. And then you have your tasks. So you're gonna separate per area of work: projects, activities, operational, okay? Activities meaning content creation, email marketing, whatever it is that you are doing to sell, to talk about your business so you can have business. That's activity. Operational, team management, meetings, yet etc. Projects, the development, the things that you have to do for each individual project. I can show you what that looks like as well. So this. Hide my face. CDP is the mentoring. IPM is the course that I'm developing right now, and production, client related stuff, okay? And then I separate things per project, all the tasks per project. You can do that on Notion, you can do that on ClickUp, you can do that on any other task management software. You don't need to do on Notion just because I'm telling you to do on Notion. You can test it. If you are going to be in the infinite product method, I'm going to teach you how to do that in it, okay? All of the nits and grits, the fancy stuff, you don't need to go this fancy. This is the result of years since Notion opened. I've been using it, so I am very familiarized with it. if you need to have just a one page with a title, the project title, and then the tasks that you have to do in order to get that project out there as soon as possible, that's enough. That's good enough. Pen and paper is good enough, but have the system, something that you can adhere, something that you can and that you will use, effectively use. That's the important part. I don't care how and where you do it. Okay, you can use. The important thing is that you adhere. Let me see my notes. Last but not least, once you've understood all of this, you are going to be able to talk to an audience. Once you've understood all of this, you will have confidence to talk to an audience. I said in the beginning, like an hour ago, that your personality is going to be your niche. Okay? Personal brands are becoming their own niches. Not the only one who has noticed it. Positioning is going to be, your personality is going to be your, and your experiences and your results are going to be your biggest unique selling proposition. Okay? Because it is with that that you will develop a method. If you are a nutritionist, if you are a personal trainer, if you are a veterinarian, if you are a marketer, if you are a strategist, if you are a designer, if you are, I'm thinking about my own mentees here because we do this together. If you're a filmmaker, Dave. If you are a copywriter, you're going to have a method, a process, the process behind how you work. And if you guessed, you've been paying attention, you probably guessed right. You're gonna write that down. You're gonna develop a method. You're gonna put that method in the system that you create for yourself. You're gonna organize that method because a method needs to be, I put it there, how to write it? Hey, replicable, applicable, and explainable. And here we are getting to the gold of the DNA of all of this. Because your method is being brought by you. It has your DNA. Your method has your DNA. Your method is who you are as a professional and as a person. No one can replicate that, but they can replicate as in they can copy and sell it for themselves, but they can use on themselves. And that's how you get your method will get the first results, which will build you authority, which will allow you to charge whatever you want, which will allow you, once you have a personal brand, once you have your method for the things that you do, once you have, this is a method, by the way, that I'm giving to you, you will be able to create as many products as people need in order to obtain those results. Because a method needs to be applicable and replicable, as well as, I could even add it here, partitionable. I have a brand strategy method. What I'm giving you today is part of it. Part of my productivity method as well. You can get the basic, and then now we are getting to the IPM method. The IPM method, the infinite product method. Because the methods talk to themselves. And I'm able to create free content, confidently knowing that not only will you not find it anywhere else, as well as it is so basic that you will be able to acquire your first results, but you will still need to sit at my table to get all of it for yourself in an organized, structured format, because that's what a method is. It's explainable and applicable, meaning that it's organized, structured, strategized. But Jules, I am a masseuse. You have a method. There is a masseuse in Brazil called Nazaré, and she is probably the biggest in Brazil right now, with a I don't know how to translate it to English, but she sells her method, and her method builds she created a method that is replicable by students who end up working with her, or they license the method to work with her. You don't have to license your method. You can simply give it to people, like I do with IPM, or I'm doing with IPM. This will get you your first results, and you apply the method on yourself as well, okay? Coherence. Then, once you have your first students on your method, whether you're doing it because it's practitionable, it doesn't mean you have to do a big, complete course. You can just get a little bit of that method and create a mini course or a crash course, or even go live and do it. You're gonna make sure those people get results, because now you are closing. This is what I would do. But Jules, I have a physical shop. I have a physical shop. So do I. You can get a method in two veins. The first vein is, what do your clients need to know in order to successfully use your products? The other method is, how did you create that product, that physical product? Because it's a service, then you productize that service by creating a method, and then you break that method in different products. Why do you have to partition it? You can't throw all the information at. And this is exactly why you won't find it all organized, concise, for free in the internet. If you do, it's gonna take you years to do so. Okay? If you are learning and teaching, you need to understand that you're only going to get the full structure once you sit at someone's table, or if someone sits on your table. The content you need to be repeating to your audience for free should be the basic content that will allow them to remove that first fear, the first I am scared feeling that they have, so that they can get the first result, so that you can get your first results. So the next step is to create the offers. That will be services, that will be digital products, mentorings, that will be physical products, and sell those offers. Talk about your offers. There is a big likelihood that you are not ready for my mentoring, the digital passport. But you might be at a stage where the infinite product method is for you. So treat your offers as a ladder of success for people through your method. I think there's a comment. This is what the infinite product method is about, actually. I show you how to build that relationship ruler, the product ruler, the product track, how to create a method and productify that method. But you can start right now by writing down the things that you do every day in order to get a client from point A to point B. If you are a masseuse, you are doing an order of massages and of movements in order to get your client, to give your client some kind of relief. If you are a veterinarian, you are taking step by step in order to get your little client, your fur client, from point A to point B. You can create methods so that your client tutors, because your client is the dog. Your final client is the dog, but the tutor is the person you're selling to. If you are selling to children, the tutor is the parent. So remember that. You have to put the right end client and the person, the intermediator, at the right spot, okay? You can create a method so that the tutor of your client is, let me think about what my sister would do. Feeding them the correct kind of food. You can have a nutrition for. You can have a behavioral, I'll pretend I said that word right, method to sell to the tutors. Meaning that you are taking the actual client from point A to point B via the tutor, okay? If you are a nutritionist, if you are a pediatrician, if you're working with a incapable of purchase of children, pets, usually the end client is different from the person who is applying the method, okay? If you are a designer, you have a method to design. You also have a sales method that you can sell to other designers, but you're only able to do this for your end client and for the designer if you have a personal brand. If you have a physical business and you're selling jewelry, you are selling as well to people that are interested in fashion and also for people who are buying your products. You can have understand your body type and your personality and how to dress accordingly. I don't know, I'm coming up with these things. Your method is your gold mine. When you pair your personality and everything we've spoken about so far with a method, and you have a gold mine. Okay, but you have to test formats and deliveries. So if you are delivering a mentoring, you have to test the length, you have to test the bonuses, the extras, the support you are giving to students. That's all a part of selling the method and shipping the method. Okay, pause for water. If you have a physical shop, if you have you're offering services, you need to remember that having your digital presence and your personal brand presence will allow you to reach places of vulnerability that you would not otherwise be able to. I just noticed you did not see the okay. That is what you do. That's what happens when you're live. I'm gonna slowly scroll this so you can collect the data. Fail. Okay. You need to reach places. You are able to reach places of vulnerability that you would not otherwise be able to if you were doing things only offline. You need or you should consider at least doing things omni-channel. Okay. Next, so I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna make this available for you to download, so don't worry. Okay. Pause and screenshot as well. My bad. Great offers. So your digital presence is able to reach places of vulnerability that you otherwise would not be able to. You weren't omnichannel. So if you have a physical shop, considering taking it online. If you have a local service practice, consider taking it online somehow. Whether by educating horizontally, so people that do the same thing that you do, but also taking it to vertical, selling it to your end client who is not able to physically be near your shop to buy from you. So you can still educate and bring value to these people, okay? So I'm gonna go a little bit back up here so you can take a screenshot, because I failed. And I wanna talk about, since we talked about goals, we talked about routines, we've talked about your personality, we've talked about your vision for yourself, for your life, I need to talk about a concept, a copywriting concept, the big picture. The big picture is a thesis that you're gonna bring to your customers. So big picture, a general thesis. And I have a few big pictures that I use in order to communicate and to sort of bring it all together, okay? Just the other day, I came up with one in stories, which was consistency tramples talent. Very consistent, always being consistent. If I say that I want to do something, get into a routine, I set up tasks, and I get it done. I might not be fast always, because maybe I need to stop to learn something, but I am consistent. So that's a big picture. And you're gonna work with a big picture. You can also think of it as a jargon, okay? Things that you're gonna repeat to your audience. The other one that I talk about a lot is that your content is an eternal fourth grade, meaning you're gonna talk about the things that you talk about. We just mentioned that with the method, right? You're gonna simplify it so that you can get your audience to get the first results. So fourth grade meaning that it has to be simple and you need to repeat it over and over again. I repeated myself a few times here. I repeat some of these things across my presence on Instagram, on the feed, on Reels, on YouTube videos, on repetition is part of the success. You repeat the basics. So your content is an eternal fourth grade. That's the thesis behind creating a method and talking about your method. Then the consistency tramples talent. It is this mindset that we've discussed so far, the autodidact, of learning a little, being curious to learn how to be the best or how to be better every day, a little bit. Consistency is about being a little bit better every day. Repetition. Repetition is the base of success. Oh, that's another big picture. Repetition is, I'm writing it down, is the base of success. And I'm writing it down to myself, by the way, so I don't forget. See, what I give to you is exactly what I do. Coherence. Every 21st century business is a digital media business first. That's another big idea. I said a big picture, but I actually meant big idea. I wrote it wrong. Big idea. Jules, come on. Big idea is a general thesis. A big picture is just your vision, what you want to achieve. I'm gonna put it here. Big picture is your vision. What do you want? Your business vision, okay? What do you want people to achieve with you? Do you need to have one big picture? Do you need to have one big idea? Do you need to have multiple big ideas? You can have a big idea per product. You can have a big idea per method, which is what I do the most. Your content is an internal fourth grade, is a big idea. A repetition or the consistency tramples talent is a productivity. And personal strategy, big idea. I almost said big picture again. Last but not least, we are going to talk about analysis. Analysis, because it is important that you learn to analyze your current situation. So you're going to have panorama. We talked about panorama in the last slide. Panorama A and B. Is A is where you are, where you're going. Is panorama B, where you are going. And you need to analyze, you need to learn to analyze. We do reviews for that, we collect data, okay? So reviews, collecting data. I like to tell the story or the comparison of a surfing competition, because a surfing competition has external factors that are out of the surfer's control, and yet they're still able to give a rate of success. They're still able to tell whether that person was surfing well or not. So you have the weather, you have the ocean, you have the tides, you have the actual surfer's physical condition at that day. You have all those variables that are variables that are external and therefore out of your control, and internal in your control. And of course, you need to learn to look at both. And I can't possibly tell you exactly how to do that exactly for your business, because I'm not in your business. I can tell you about my businesses. But the variables that are in your control, for example, so internal, let's talk about what we can right now. You can look at ROI, so return on investment. You can look at ROAS, so the ad spend, return on ad spend. If you are looking at your personal analysis, your personal reviews, you can go and say the average that you've done a habit on that month. You can get that nitty-gritty with it. But it is important that you analyze the right metrics as well. So a lot of people want to look at sales, but they forget that it's revenue is one thing, but what about the ROI? What about your MRR, for example? That's another metric that you can, which is the predicted recurring revenue. If you have a membership and someone is paying you monthly for that, you're gonna have a predicted recurring revenue. And then because you are looking at that, then now you have churn. So it's the amount that the amount of people that will not stay with you. So you are posting on Instagram, you've decided that you want to post on Instagram every day. And now you have reach to analyze. How far is Instagram putting your content in front of people? Your following growth rate. That's another important indicator. If you have a certain goal that relates to growth, then you're gonna have certain metrics to analyze. And once you learn to analyze those metrics, you're gonna be able to analyze your conversion rates. How is it converting? And then I'm confusing myself. Once you've decided what you want to do with your Instagram, for example, I'm gonna go back. You are gonna be able to analyze certain metrics. So if you wanna grow your Instagram, then you're gonna analyze your reach, your following growth rate, and your conversion rates. Are people saving? Are people clicking on the link when you click? Are people following your Instagram or your stories? Are people responding? You're gonna decide what's important for your growth. I always say it wrong. For your growth, and then you're gonna analyze that and see what needs to be better. When you are starting out, you don't have this sort of vision. When you are starting out, you are focusing only on the following growth rate. But the following growth rate is a symptom of something. For example, I know that I'm not doing enough reels and I know that I'm gonna grow very slow. I know that. Is it my focus right now? Maybe not. Maybe I'm okay with not growing so fast. And then the mistake that people make is wanting to viralize. Virality doesn't mean you are going to get paying people in your audience. I've worked with one specific expert that had a good following, but purchase power of that following was close to zero. What those numbers are good for then? If you're not gonna have a good conversion rate, conversion. Select conversion. If you don't have a good conversion rate, the following number is not where it should be. That's how you have a strategic view of what you're doing. Okay? So to finalize, you are starting now. Okay, you put all these resources together with me, and now you want to open your Instagram, or you want to improve on your Instagram. You want to be talking to people. So now you have your personality, so the base of your personal brand. You have organization, so you can decide what's important to do right now, what's not important to do, the average quality that you are going to accept at this stage. And you are also going to focus on the right metric. Okay, you have the basics of you have a method as well. Once you have your method and you have your first offers, your services, okay, method, productized, services, and physical products. you are able to create content that is valuable and that will boost the conversion rate. What I just said about having a lot of followers but no conversion rate is a symptom of not having a method, not having an aligned communication, not understanding who you are, not understanding your vision, and you have all the basics set right now. You are going to create content that is going to be related to your product at a basic level, an eternal 4th grade. You're gonna repeat yourself with different stories, putting that same big idea in front of people in different ways. You're gonna create your first product. You're gonna obtain your first results, whether it's your own result or it is a client result. You can do mentoring for free, you can offer service for free, you can apply your method on yourself because it has to be applicable and explainable, okay? And then you're gonna create a productized service or physical product into sequence of transformation. Method is a sequence of transformations. This is how you get people from point A to point B. What a live stream. How long was this for? 2 hours. 2 hours of content you're not gonna see anywhere else. 2 hours of content that is gonna accelerate your operations, your activities. It's going to accelerate your personal brand. Growth isn't following numbers, subscribers. Growth is not, authority is not following numbers and subscribers. I want you to internalize, because you can be an authority in your field and never have ever touched the phone. Dramatic silence. Okay, if you liked this live stream, let me know. If you have any doubts, we actually have the Discord channel. I do not remember if it's in the description, but either way, you can go to my Instagram and highlight with the link in my Instagram or Discord channel, and I'm gonna drop this document from today's live into the Discord channel for you to read later. I am not deleting this live stream. You will be able to rewatch it as many times as you want. If it was useful to you, if you feel like you've got clarity, if you feel like you've got somewhere, share it with someone. Abundance needs to be shared. That's why we go for abundance, so that we can overflow to people. This is what I'm doing here. I'm overflowing to you. Okay? I'll see you in the next Wednesday. Let's end it.